I'm from Israel. Today I'm going to teach you about kubah aduma, kubah in beets, and here we go. And these are the ingredients. We have the ingredients for the kubah and we have the ingredients for the soup. Let's start with the ingredients of the kubah. We have 1 pound of raw lean meat. We have 3/4 of a cup of water and 1 cup of semolina. It may vary depending on the thickness of this casing. We have 1 teaspoon of curry, 1 teaspoon of cumin. We have 1 teaspoon of garlic powder and 1 teaspoon of onion powder. We have 1 teaspoon of pepper, 1 teaspoon of salt, and 1 teaspoon of allspice. We need a 1/3 cup of chopped parsley and 1/2 cup of chopped onion. The ingredients of the soup is 6 beets, 4 cloves of garlic, 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, 1 tablespoon of honey, 1.5 cup of chopped carrots, 3/4 of a cup of onion, and the same spices that we had in the meat. And let's start with the soup. We need to start with covering the bottom of the pan with oil. Right here I have olive oil. And we start with sauteing the onions and the garlic. Now we sauteed it until everything is golden. And we add all our spices in to open up the flavors. And we saute it a little more. Now we add the water. Right here I have 8 cups of water. Turn the heat a little bit back. And then I add the carrots and the beets. And let it cook for a bit. And reduce. It usually takes about 10 minutes. So while the soup is reducing, when I'm going to make the kubah. Alright, this is where I'm going to put the prepared kubah on. We're going to start mixing everything into the meat. I usually prefer using my own hands. So putting everything in. And we're going to mix everything together. So I cleaned up the counter and now we're ready to move on. Right here we're going to take the semolina and we're going to take the meat that we already prepared and we're going to start balling the meat into meatballs. And then we're going to take a little bit of the semolina, put it in the middle of our hand right here. Just a little bit. We can add more anytime we need more. We're gonna flatten it out, take the meatball, put it in the middle, and flip it over to your other hand. Right now I'm using my non-dominant hand to put the semolina on. And then I'm flipping it back and closing everything up. And balling it together and we have a ready kubah. Let's do it again. 1 meatball, a little bit of the semolina onto the middle of our hand, flatten it out, put the meatball into the semolina, flip it over, shape it, back over, shape it a little more, ball it up, another ready semolina. So after everything reduced and everything is cooked and ready, we're gonna add some soy sauce and the honey. And we let it cook for a little bit so everything is nice and ready. And we're gonna stick the kubah in one by one, not close to each other because then it's gonna open up and break. So we need to be careful about that. It will cook for about 15 minutes. 10 to 15 minutes after everything is like when the kubas are floating, that means they're ready. So I'm gonna put some more in. And I learned about how to make kubah from my savta in Israel. And this is how every time I miss my home or my family, I usually make kubah because it reminds me of everybody. And I usually make it for Friday nights for Shabbat. And I really love it. That's one of my favorite foods to eat and make. So the kubah popped up and now it's ready to eat. So now the kubah is ready. I usually and typically eat it in Shabbat, but you can eat it every day of the week. Typically on rice as a side. And I'm gonna eat it because it's the best thing ever.
כל המעשים ברוך ומבורך בפי כל נשמה גדלו וטובו מלא עולם דעת ותבונה סובבים אותו המתגאה על חיות הקודש ונעדר בכבוד על המרכבה זכותו משור לפני חיסו חסד ורחמים לפני כבודו טובים מאורות שברא אלוהינו יצרם בדעת בבינה ובהשכל כוח וגבורה נתן בהם להיות מושלים בקרב תבל מלאים זיו ומפיקים נוגה נאי זיוום בכל העולם שמחים בצאתם וזזים בבואם עושים בהם הרצון קונם פאר וכבוד נותנים לשמו תחלה ורינה לזכר מלכותו קרא לשמש ויזרח